Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/spookshow. Then go over to morbidlybeautiful.com as we are now part of the Morbidly Beautiful Podcasting Network.
Now, here is a motion picture film.
And now, ladies and gents, it's yo time.
To do the bimes.
Say hello to my little friend.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Come quietly or there will be trouble.
I'll shove that bat up your ass and turn you into a popsicle.
Inconceivable.
Welcome to the All-American Spook Show podcast.
I'm sorry, boys. I'm afraid I can't do that. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Hello, welcome back to the All-American Spook Show podcast. I'm Josh. I'm joined here with Tiana.
Hey.
And the Professor Smoke.
What's up?
And, boy, we pulled a doozy on this one. And it is fitting, too, by the way, that this is the last movie that we're doing here in Sasquatch Summer. Because next week we're just going to kind of put a bow in it and wrap it up. So, but this is the last actual movie that we're doing here. And I say it's appropriate because at the least this movie is asinine. And it is Cry Wilderness from what year was this? 1987. Yeah. 1987. Yeah. I was going to say it was called Cry Professor, but that was only what he was doing as he had to watch it. Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll get into that. Let's see what.
How many tears were shed?
Well, one thing I'll tell you right now at the top is I've never even heard of this movie. Well, maybe I heard the title at some point, but I definitely didn't see this on the shelves. And looking at the poster, it probably wouldn't have drawn me in. You know, they should have had a poster more like Bigfoot 1970. If they had a cover like that, I definitely would have probably rented this movie. But yeah,
because
I don't remember seeing it even on the store shelves. But it's kind of, I'm not saying the poster art's not terrible. It's not terrible, but it doesn't draw you in to like you need to rent this, even if it's going to suck. You know, it doesn't.
Yeah.
They should have a better cover art. Because I probably would have rented it.
At least that one like pulled you in with the old bait and switch, you know.
Yeah,
sold you a bill of goods. This one didn't even really try on any level.
No.
But yeah, Cry Wilderness. Honestly, if you're listening to this, it is very likely, honestly, that you may have heard of this movie from Mystery Science Theater 3000 more than you have the actual movie itself. Because I think that one was a very popular episode of MST3K. So there's a good chance if you've tripped on this, you're probably looking for something to do with that. But no, we're actually here to talk about the movie itself and about as serious a manner as you possibly can, which isn't very serious at all. But because this is Cult Corner as well, too, like we take things, you have to compare them not only to like great cult movies that we watched, but to shitty cult movies that we watched. So really, Cult Corner is kind of a little bit of a dumping ground sometimes for shit that we used to do on Patreon back in the day called Crapsterpiece Theater. So every once in a while, right, something will fall through the cracks of where it used to be caught in the old Crapsterpiece net. Now it kind of falls into the Cult Corner net.
Yep, sometimes it gets on other places, but generally Cult Corner, is going to be the main dumping ground for that.
I'd say it's close between that and Video Vortex, right? Like this is kind of over on YouTube. Video Vortex.
Yeah, the thing about Video Vortex is usually it's just chance. We spin a wheel of a shit ton of movies that are on the wheel, and whatever it lands on, unless we occasionally come to consensus that we should do this movie. But we're pretty much at the mercy of the wheel, and we got a lot. You know, as you can imagine, just straight to video is going to be. It's subjective, I guess you could say, right? What's entertaining and not entertaining, but you got some real garbage on there that's in no way, shape, or form good. Not even in a so bad it's good kind of way.
Yeah.
And is this movie so bad it's good? Well, we'll find out together shortly.
Well, before we get started, it probably is worth mentioning because we just talked about Crapsterpiece Theater that a couple weeks ago, the immortal wrestler, the immortal Hulk Hogan passed away. Now, I only tie those two together because was it not the first episode of Crapsterpiece Theater?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the first episode we did.
Yeah.
Of Crapsterpiece Theater back when we don't do that show anymore, but it's over on Patreon.
Yeah.
but we did No Holds Barred on that. I'm pretty sure it was the first episode. And before anybody gets, panties in a wad about what are you talking about connecting Hulk Hogan and Craftspeace Theater or whatever you say. Well, we gave that movie the ratings we had back then were, what was it?
Oh Lord, you had to go there.
The best rating was.
It was shit. I just remember the worst being diarrhea.
Yeah.
I think
we had levels to match the crap and crap.
Yeah, right? It was the levels of crap. But that one also took home. You remember, every year we have the Spookies, the Spookshow Awards.
Yeah,
that one took home the first. What do we call it? The Golden Bomber.
I think it's the best,
which is the best. Yeah, of Craftspeace
Theater for that.
So it is. I think it's technically still probably from beginning to end because we ended Craftspeace. It'll probably come back in some form one of these days. But we did end the series, and I think it did end up being like the highest rated Craftspeace that we ever did.
Yeah, that we'd ever done. I mean, it really. See, it's all subjective, right? Most people can. I think if you can look at Hulk Hogan's career in films,
not good
subjectively. That you probably, you come to, they're not well-made, great films or whatever, but they are, for us that grew up with them, very much a nostalgia factor, and you enjoy them for what they are,
Yeah.
He was much better as a wrestler and then within the wrestling world than making movies.
Yeah.
But I thought, for me, I really haven't seen one that I've hated, and I haven't seen all of them. We haven't seen, what's the Santa Claus one?
Oh, Santa with muscles.
Yeah, I've never seen that. Yeah. So at some point, Christmas time, we got to get that on. Maybe Cold Corner this Christmas or something.
It's much like we talked about recently when Ozzy Osbourne passed away. It's unfortunate. It's like a part of our childhood.
Yeah,
going down here, with Ozzy passing and now Hulk Hogan, and there was
and within 2 days.
Yeah,
later,
it's crazy. Crazy timing of those things sometimes. But yeah, we just wanted to mention that. Also, as a reason to plug Patreon, patreon.com/Spookshow. So if you want to go back and listen to that, our little chat we had about No Holds Barred, go join our Patreon today and get that. Yeah, anyways, we'll go ahead and toss to the trailer for Cry Wilderness.
In the wilderness, there is a delicate balance. Paul understood this. There were those who didn't.
I'm going to find it and kill him.
Even Paul's deepest secret would not be safe.
I have seen him manage you.
They were hunting for something special, but no one was prepared for this. Cry Wilderness. The legend lives. Rated PG. A film for the entire family.
All right, there you go. Now, I'm guilty for this one. Like, I straight up said, all right, we've got to get this in. It's almost like when we were talking about Harry and the Hendersons, and there were a few others. I was kind of like on the fence, like, because I know this isn't a great movie, but at some point this summer, during the Sasquatch Summer, I wanted to get this movie in. So we found a nice little juicy spot for it here, and we got it in.
Now, is that because you'd seen it before, or because you just knew what it was?
I had seen the MST3K episode.
Oh, okay.
I had never sat down and actually watched this like as a legit piece of theater, a legit film, cinema. No,
I watched it. Merit.
Yeah. No. I watched it on MST3K, and it was hilarious. And by the way, I will highly recommend that MST3K episode for sure. But even more so than what we're talking about today, or watching the actual movie itself. Go watch it. Go watch the MST3K version. But this movie is a fucking fever dream.
That's funny that you say that, because that's how I was explaining it to Tiana, especially this certain scenes of it in particular. One very interesting scene in particular.
My God. So yeah, I got a little bit of background, so we can go through that real quick so we can get into it, because I'm sure this is one of those ones we'd rather talk about it than like the background shit. But randomly the other, and I don't know what the hell, maybe this is a lost in translation type thing. I don't know, but I can only find one other title for this movie. And in Mexico, it was known as Jetty. I don't know.
Jetty?
Jetty.
It's that?
Jetty, like jetty, like a jet plane. I don't know. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Maybe it's a weird pronunciation of the Yeti or something.
I was about to say, because really know. In Spanish, you pronounce a J like, jalapeno, but that would be heady. It wouldn't really be Yeti, I don't think. Would it?
It's weird, but yeah. Jetty. I don't know where that came from, but apparently that was the title of Mexico. It was released February of 1987. It's at no particular date, because I was hard pressed to, honestly, I don't think this got a theatrical release. I didn't find any particular date, and I don't think it did. I think this was straight to video, right?
Well, the one thing though, I'm not sure.
TV movie.
Maybe, but one thing that I don't know how accurate this is, but this thing IMDb has a rating of PG on it. So if that's correct, then they had to submitted it to the MPAA. So maybe they thought they were going to release it, but didn't. I don't know.
Or maybe it just got a very, very limited, like it was released in the greater California, Portland area or some shit.
Maybe so. Or maybe like Tiana said, maybe they submitted it to the MPAA in hopes of getting it in the theaters, and then their hopes were dashed when it was put in front of a test audience. I don't know. I'm just speculating here.
The MPAA's,
well, I guess we'll dump it on TV. Something.
Yeah. The MPAA's note back to them was, all right, we're going to give this a PG, but we do not recommend you release this. Why? Just don't release it. Okay.
Maybe is it finished? Is this the finished cut or is this a rough cut?
Yeah, there's not much direction here. Like we were joking around beforehand. Like I'm not even sure there's real editing in this movie. I think they just like cut the camera on and then just fucking shot it in chronological order and then released it.
So, I think I was joking with Talon. I think not only had they maybe not made that many movies when they made this movie, but they had not really seen any movies either, or how do you put them together, or how these movies are put together, or even watch this one when it was done. I don't know.
No, nobody. There was no quality control.
Because things just happen, and then you wonder, like, did I miss something? I mean, who is this character, and why? Was this supposed to be in reel 1, and it's now down here in reel 3, and they just got the reels mixed up when they edited this? I don't know what happened.
When I worked in movie theaters back in the day, we did that one time. We got like reel 3 mixed up with 4 or something. It was something like that, and then it ran for like days. Whatever movie it was, before somebody's like, "Hey, this movie doesn't make any sense." What do you mean? And then we realized, oh crap, I don't even remember what the movie was. But
another story about that is Lucio Fulci's House by the Cemetery. Anybody who watched the Lightning video, I think the VHS release back in the 80s of House by the Cemetery, saw, when they transferred that over to the VHS tapes or betas or whatever they put them on, whatever formats, they did the same thing. They reversed some of those middle reels. I forget. I don't know the numbers of them now. Not the first or the last reel, but somewhere in the middle they had some stuff mixed up and
it's never
so
like
that's how everybody saw it on VHS. Back
the mix up is never like reel 1 to say the last reel. It's always like the 2 in the middle.
Yeah, because they know those are right. I see the first intro credits and I see the
those are pretty obvious. Yeah,
those are right.
Yeah. Anyways, this was the people responsible for this movie, I should say. It was produced and distributed by Visto International, Inc. As you mentioned a second ago, rated PG, total runtime of 1 hour and 33 minutes. Good Lord, that's too long. On IMDb, it's listed as an adventure family fantasy. Although, if you inflict this on your family, what the hell's wrong with you? It's one thing for us to watch this in kind of an ironic manner, but like to inflict this on children is just a crime.
What was the last one we did that was kind of like Harry and the Hendersons, but not? What was that?
Bigfoot, The Incredible Encounter. That was for Vortex on YouTube. Yeah.
So it's in a way. I mean, it's not like that. At least that movie tried a little bit harder to be sort of a Harry and the Hendersons knockoff. I mean, this came out the same year though, didn't it? Is Harry and the Hendersons 80? Was that 87 or no?
I believe so.
Maybe I think it was.
Hold on, let me backtrack a little bit here. Hold on, 87? Yep.
That other one was what, later, like 89 or 90?
Harry and the Hendersons came out June 5th of 87, and this actually predates it. This came out February of 87.
But you know how those things used to go. I don't know what how the buzz would be back then. Somebody would hear something, and then they would have to do their own version of it. So you end up with movies like all those underwater movies that came out around Deep Space.
Although
not Deep Space. Nine or
maybe they had that.
The title again.
Maybe
Star 6. Goddamn it.
It is possible that maybe they had some intention to like, hey, let's ride the Harry and the Hendersons wave, maybe, and get in front of it. But this movie has no comparison to that movie, other than the family aspect and its Bigfoot. That's it. Like, otherwise, there's no comparisons to those two movies. It was filmed in Balboa Park, which is in San Diego, Mono Lake, and Devil's Postpile National Monument, all in California there, from January 9th to March 20th of 1986. Like I said, we have no direct box office numbers. You know, like I don't know what it made. I don't know what the budget was. There's no direct date, but I can tell you, you know, I can go back in the time machine in February of 1987, and I can tell you some movies that were playing at the time. Platoon was out. One of your favorites, I'm sure, the rom-com, The Malibu Bikini Shop. That was playing at the time. The Warner Brothers, I get what that was canon, right? Over the Top.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Mannequin, that was out around the same time.
There's 2 movies we've done, right? Or did we? Wait, we did Mannequin, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We kind of loosely connected that to canon, so it was part of canon fodder. But yeah, Mannequin. Right. There you go, Smoke. A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors.
Nice. Yeah.
That came out February 27th of 87.
One that we surprisingly have not done yet. Actually, I don't think we've done any. Have we done any Nightmare on Elm Streets?
Yeah, we did the very first one.
We did?
Yes.
I forget sometimes if we did it on the show or if I'm just thinking in my head that we were talking about it outside the show.
No, we did. But I do believe, Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's right. I know
Freddy,
sure, yeah, we did.
We did the original Nightmare, and then we did Freddy versus Jason, but I think that's the only ones that we have touched, on my recollection. But I'll just pick a random one here. Here, let's go to the end of February. So this is the weekend of February 27th through March 1st of 1987. So this is the top 10 in the box office that particular weekend. So if it did get, this movie, Cry Wilderness, did get any play anywhere, this is what it was up against, okay? Number 10, Radio Days. Number 9, Crocodile Dundee in its 23rd week. Number 8, in its 3rd week, Over the Top. Number 7, Black Widow. Not the Marvel movie, but some other Black Widow movie. Number 6 in its opening weekend, that particular weekend, Some Kind of Wonderful. Number 5, the Gene Hackman classic Hoosiers. Number 4, in its 3rd week, Mannequin. Number 3, Outrageous Fortune. Number 2, in its 11th week, Platoon. And then opening that particular weekend, at number 1, A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. So that's the kind of fare that Cry Wilderness, I think I would have wanted to see any of those movies before Cry Wilderness.
This is neither here nor there, but while I'm thinking about it, in that Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, I remember when that came out, and I had the, I don't know if you ever remember the board game. I still have it. The Nightmare on Elm Street board game, which came out that same year, 1987. But it was before the movies. I don't remember where I was at, but I remember wanting to go see the movie, but I was at a place where either didn't have a theater or whatever the case, I couldn't see it, and I never did get around to seeing that one in the theater. And that just came to my mind with you mentioning the box office in Part 3. And I still had that board game, though.
Yeah. Well, at least you got to take something home and keep forever.
Yeah.
This movie, Cry Wilderness, back to that. Back to the bleak reality that is Cry Wilderness.
Damn, I thought I was going to get another diversion. Yeah. Didn't last long.
It was directed and produced by Jay Schlossberg Cohen. He did Night Train to Death. Oh, I'm sorry, Night Train to Terror.
Oh, yeah, I got that on VHS.
Then he did another movie called Death Wish Club.
I think I got that on VHS because I saw that poster. I'm like, yeah, pretty sure I have that random weird movie. I mean, I've never seen it.
Yeah, these titles just sound like they're right in Smoke's wheelhouse for sure. And Bloody Wednesday. That was another one.
Yeah, I saw that one, but I don't know what that was. I've never seen that or heard of that one.
It was written and produced by Philip Yordan. Now, Philip Yordan this is interesting. This is an interesting pull because this dude won an Oscar.
Which one, the director?
No, the guy that wrote it and see the director and the writer were both producers. So the guy that wrote it, his name was Philip Yordan. He won the Best Writer Oscar in 1955 for Broken Lance. And he was nominated for 2 other Best Writer Oscars, once in 1946 for Dillinger, and then in 1952 for Detective Story. So fast forward 30 years, how in the blue hell they got that dude to write this movie is beyond me.
Well, they gave him a typewriter and a bunch of mushrooms.
I was about to say, I thought you were going to say money. There's no way. There's no fucking way.
No, shrooms. It's shrooms. Yeah. They paid him in shrooms for
it. One other random thing that I saw about him, and this is directly from the Wikipedia page for Cry Wilderness, so that's how deep research I did for this. Writing the script, I'm just going to read this verbatim because this is hilarious. Writing the script became difficult for Yordan as he was told to cut out horror scenes and be restricted from adding any violence, profanity, or sex. These restrictions resulted in the scriptwriter telling the distributor he would be writing a movie about nothing. To which the distributor acknowledged this as that's what they wanted. So in other words, he's like, this is going to suck. It's about nothing. Yep, that's exactly what we want. And I think that's exactly what he gave us, to be honest.
I wonder if I wonder if he did have some inkling of this Harry and the Hendersons family Bigfoot movie coming out, but they didn't know what it was about exactly because they didn't have the script available to them. So the producers are probably like, this is coming down the pipe and it's got, it's going to be hot. It's big. It's got big talk behind it or whatever. We're going to do the same thing. So we'll get this writer and tell him not to put any violence, not to put any sex, not to put any exploitation elements in it. And then we'll get our own Harry and the Hendersons or whatever. And that's obviously not what happened.
I would love, I mean, just seeing how this movie turned out, I would love to see his original script.
Yeah.
The way that reads to me is that reads to me like he had some horror elements. There might have been sex and violence. Like this movie, I don't see any of that. How would that even happen? How would that play out? It would be hilarious to see. Especially,
you would have to. You probably have to rewrite the whole thing, whether it would even have the whole kid, the kid aspect to it, the family, where it follows the kid mainly, is the main focus of the story.
Yeah,
that might not have even been the case in the original script. Who knows?
God, I'd love. Well, I mean, honestly, probably wouldn't really want to see it. It's one of those things where you say you would, but you don't really want to see it.
Yeah. Because who knows how that would turn out or not? As we found out on these Sasquatch Summer, there's actually really good Sasquatch horror movies are very few and far between. Right?
The crazy thing is, too, Philip Jordan at this time, he's in his 70s. He's old. I mean, like the dude had been around for a long time, and his heyday was in the 40s and 50s mostly. It's like by this point, like I guess he's just happy to do anything. But my God.
Although, interestingly, you ever seen the movie called The Unholy from 1988?
Yeah. Yep.
The cold horror.
That.
He wrote that one.
Yep. Oh yeah, he did a number of things like down toward the end where you're kind of like, wow, that's kind of crazy. For a guy with his pedigree, so to speak. Like. Doing The Unholy and Cry Wilderness and Night Train to Terror and stuff like that. It's kind of like, that's kind of crazy considering this dude won one Oscar and was nominated for 2 others. But yeah, there you go. I guess you'll do shit for money. That's how we wrap that part up. The movie stars Eric Foster as Paul. That's the boy in the movie. He was also in the movie Death House and in another movie called Grandma's House. And then he was in 3 episodes of The Wonder Years, and then it looks like he called it a day.
Yeah.
He never did anything else after that. Which I guess The Wonder Years could be that could be a career ender in a positive way for anybody, right? Well, you know what? It's probably not going to get any better than this. I'm out. At least he saw it. Maurice Grand Maison as Will. That's the dad in the movie. He was also in the movie Night Train to Terror. So I'm sensing a theme here. I think a lot of these were. We need to go back and watch Night Train to Terror. Apparently,
like I said, I got that on VHS. It is better than this movie.
Well, that's not a shocker.
It's not saying much.
Yeah. It's a bar.
Considering it's from the same team, basically, it is better than this movie.
Yeah. And it also stars John Tallman as Jim. Now he's the Indian, the Native American in the movie, right? Here's the funny part: he's not an Indian. He is a white. Yeah, no, he is a white man that apparently they did the old red face bit with old Jim. And here's another funny bit. The old, what do they call him? Red Hawk, the old Indian that just kind of randomly appears. Yeah, him too. That is a white man. That is that gets the old red face treatment. But anyways, John Tallman, Jim there, he was in movies Lust for Freedom. Oh, and here's a good one. He was also in Class of Nukem High Part 3, The Good, the Bad, and the Subhumanoid. So luckily we were spared that from when we did a Traumatic Experience. We never made it. What do we do about 3 movies and called it quits over there? So
I think it was that animal one or whatever that did us in when we ended up landing. The wheel landed on some sort of show that they planned on doing for kids about animals and stuff or whatever.
It was like an adopt a dog PSA or something. I don't know what the hell that was.
I don't know. It was a trauma thing, so it was on our wheel. We basically had a wheel of all the trauma related produced.
Oh, it was trauma. It was trauma because it was like supposed to be part of like I I guess Troma's trying to do the family thing. Much like Cry Wilderness, right? Like it's trying to be a family movie, but
I thought they did that back in the 80s or early 90s with Toxic Crusaders, no?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We
always kind of. I mean, that thing is fun, but I don't know that you would.
No,
it was geared towards kids. It's Saturday mornings, but I mean,
Well, now the cartoon, yeah, you could probably get away with that, but that movie, no. Which, by the way, that new remake or whatever the hell that's going to be, that's coming out within sometime in the month of August or September, right? It's coming up.
Yeah, end of August, yeah.
Yeah. So we're fastly approaching. We may have to squeeze that one in on the schedule, right?
I don't know how it's going to go, but we'll see. We'll see.
It looks interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of excited for that popcorn bucket.
the toxic waste barrel bucket.
Yeah. Anything to get us in there, right? Give us a cool popcorn bucket. We'll come see it.
Time for refreshment. Refreshment. For your enjoyment, there's hot, fresh popcorn, tempting, delicious hot dogs, and so many kinds of ice cream. And, of course, sparkling, delicious, ice-cold Coca-Cola for everybody at the refreshment counter now.
Well, that's pretty much all the background stuff I had for this, but I thought that was some interesting little tidbits there. But yeah, the movie itself is the interesting part. Right? Let's just get down to brass tacks here. This movie is nuts. I don't even know exactly where to start. I guess you start with the animals, right? I guess that's the best, because like there are tons and tons of animals in this movie.
Yeah.
Some of it is clearly just stock footage, like bears down by the lake, eagles soaring through the air,
tigers randomly popping up in California, but whatever.
Now, am I the only one that missed the part where somewhere in there they said a tiger escaped from the zoo?
Oh, is it? Did they say that? I don't know.
Well, eventually when the tiger shows up, I'm like, what the fuck? There's a tiger. And then,
I didn't hear the part about explaining the zoo part.
Well, then there was a lot after the tiger shows up. Then there's a throwaway line of like, oh, that must be that tiger that escaped from the zoo.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, wait a minute. What do you mean? Must be that tiger that escaped from the zoo?
Well, yeah, because they didn't establish that. I guess, what probably happened is like, hey, we can get a tiger.
Yeah.
Partway through shooting after they've shot all these other animals. We need a tiger.
There's no doubt in my mind, half this movie is like, you want a raccoon? I can get you a fucking raccoon.
Few of them.
You want to choke a raccoon? Oh, you can. I'll let you do that.
You want to put a kid in a net and have a cougar jump in?
There's no way there's actually that kid or anybody in that net, by the way.
No, but what I was telling Tiana is they wrapped the steak, like a big hunk of beef, inside of the same coat that kid was wearing.
They had to have. I hope that's what they did. Now, would it shock me if, like, the true story of Cry Wilderness, they terrified this boy, and that's why he was only in 3 other projects after this. I mean, that cougar, like, just straight up just leaps from the ground and grabs hold of that net and pulls it down.
Yeah, that was one of the most impressive things in the movie.
It's still, even if it, it definitely wasn't him in there, the dummy, it's still, like, shocking to leave that in the film.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because as a kid, I mean, you're under the impression of the kid in there.
Bit it.
I wish there was there needs to be like a behind the scenes. There needs to be like a behind the scenes featurette or a.
I need to see that. Yeah, like a.
I just need to know more about the animal situation in this movie.
The production of this, yeah,
like
this movie.
It's clearly.
Go ahead, sorry.
Well, it's clearly like there's stock footage, but then there's just animals hanging around. And then they clearly just like,
I mean, well, they may not have said, but
they clearly just tell the boy like, no, it's okay, go ahead, like, because he's fucking around with raccoons and bears,
the bobcat.
Like he's just straight up like he's just petting it. Like, whoa, dude, you need to back up.
Again, though, that's another guy who's like, oh, I got a pet bobcat. You want a bobcat? I can get you a bobcat. I mean,
yeah,
he's friendly. He pet him and everything.
And then the wolves.
He doesn't bite. Yeah, the wolves.
I can tell you who they got to. This is Tiger King, is what it is.
Tiger King.
Yeah.
They got him to like, you need animals? I got animals. And then, do we need safety protocols? Fuck it.
Oh, he can pet the bobcat? Yeah, sure. I think so. Okay.
I mean, Jim at one point in the movie just straight up starts wrestling a fucking bear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was.
And then they just laugh. He's wrestling a
But the
bear.
same thing with the net. After the cougar jumps up there trying to get the kid in the net, the Indian guy cuts the net down, and then both him and the kid were laughing about it.
Yeah.
Well, certainly the Indian guy was laughing about it. The kid was kind of like, yeah, okay.
Oh, that reminds me of whenever Paul shows up the kid, and then he finds Jim, the Indian guy.
Yeah.
When he finds him, and he starts at his feet and looks up. Oh, it's Jim, and then they laugh for what seems like 5 straight minutes. Just when you think the laughing is over, they're still laughing about it. Like, what are you laughing about?
How long was that movie? We need give me another minute or two at least to laugh.
Yeah.
Shit,
we got to pad it out to get it to an hour 33. So y'all just laugh for 5 straight minutes about nothing. Just remember when you did something funny earlier and just laugh about that. God.
I love how the very beginning of the movie in the museum is the exact same Bigfoot as out in the woods. I mean, it's the same Bigfoot.
My thinking is they got the dude in the suit and just told him to stand there perfectly still. Like, don't move, dude. You're supposed to be a statue. He's just... What a goofy looking shit-faced Bigfoot is in this movie.
And that kid, when he's in the beginning too, when he's in the school and he's sleeping and he had that funky ass dream.
Yeah. Yeah. Like what in my notes I put when he's talking about, he's telling the teacher about Bigfoot and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't sound like he's really describing Bigfoot. It sounds like he's describing like some old pervert he found out in the woods. And then, I give him Coca-Cola and he listens to rock and roll music and he thinks I'm funny,
He's real scruffy. I think he's Bigfoot.
Yeah. He told me his name's Bigfoot, right? Bigfoot exists, right? You know about those fairy tales, Paul. We don't tell stories, do we, Paul? God. But
and then, since we're talking about that part, might as well contrast it to the very end when he comes back to the school at the end, and then that same teacher is like, your dad told me all about what, because the teacher didn't believe him, of course, when the kids tell him about Bigfoot. He was like, we don't tell those types of fairy tales and blah, blah, blah. And then he comes back and the teacher's like, I talked to your dad. And apparently he believed everything the dad told him, though, about Bigfoot and stuff. So, and then he wanted to see him, right? Well, maybe I'll come home with you. And I want to see this Bigfoot.
Yeah, but he's real creepy. The teacher's kind of creepy about it, though. Like,
Paul, I didn't bring that angle up, but it's...
Paul, listen, I really love fairy tales, too.
Maybe I can come home with you next time off and
can you
see this Bigfoot.
Can you put in a good word for Bigfoot so I can see him, too? Good.
Kid's like, I don't think so. He never shows himself to adults.
Adults can't really see Bigfoot. God, this is almost like it's creepy on the level of what was that one canon movie that we did? The God Almighty, the old fairy tale one.
The fairy tale, the Frog Prince, or the other one?
Yeah, that one. Where the Frog Prince is real creepy to the princess.
Oh yeah, because
let me sleep in your room with you and stuff like. It's just it's a little.
Yeah, it's a little pretty old prince. I mean, you think about the story. Maybe you think about a young girl who's going to be could be a princess, and a young man who's a prince. Like, you don't think about the age range that they got for the actor and actress in this movie, and that particular canon, thing.
Yeah, it's like
you don't really think about that when we're reading the fairy tale part.
It's like a 30-year-old John Paragon dressed like a frog with a 13-year-old girl. If I remember the part where he's like, if I tell you where your ball is, can I sleep in your room? And then she's like, oh, yeah, sure, if you can manufacture that ball. And then he just pulls the ball out. Now can I sleep in your room? It's problematic.
I'm going to turn your ass back into a frog, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Stomp your ass.
The horrible ADR in this movie. Just the worst.
Yeah.
The worst. I'm pretty sure the dad, his voice changes. Like
the dad?
I don't think it's the same dude doing his dialogue throughout the entirety of the movie. Like, I think there's like 2 different guys switching off to do his dialogue. So it's so off and doesn't look like the guy. Sometimes the pitch on the voice changes. So I think it's just, I mean, all of it sucks, the ADR on it, but specifically on that dad, even on Jim too, it's kind of weird, but you know, the Indian guy, but for the dad though, it is off, dude. It is not good at all, to say the least.
Well, the older Indian, I can't remember his name, but the shaman, the shaman Indian kind of.
Red. Oh, that's another thing too. Like they keep saying Red Hawk in the movie, but somewhere I saw his name is Red Crow. So I don't know what the fuck his name is. Oh. I don't even think they know. But
Red Bird, Hawk Crow, something like it.
Who cares? Fuck it.
But that guy, see, but I didn't really know that he wasn't an Indian. They did a job with his red makeup, red face, I guess, whatever. But I thought that maybe his voice was dubbed because maybe he couldn't, he didn't speak that great English or something. Because his voice seemed dubbed to me.
I think almost everybody, like I said, the ADR is bad. So I think it's over the whole movie, but some is way worse than others. But yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, his voice definitely didn't look like it fit him.
No.
Either.
Oh my God. It's like, it's so stupid and you start laughing because they're laughing, but like, you shouldn't be laughing because this is dumb, but like, here we are. Yeah. We're just all laughing.
Like I was saying too, there's something about this movie. Yeah, it's not good, and it's not even so bad it's good. There's plenty of movies that are so bad they're good or whatever. Yeah. This one's not even in that category, but there's something that was making me want to watch it still.
Yeah.
There was something drawing you into it. Not even just the badness of it, just the, like you said, a fever dream. Like it's like made by people who, I mean, I know that I'm joking that they didn't know how to make movies. Obviously they did know how to make movies. They've been doing it and stuff. But I mean, this movie just it's disjointed as hell. But somehow it all comes together in this weird, like you said, fever dream that like it compels you to watch it to the end, even though it's not good and not even so bad it's good.
I mean, but there's moments, that I guess it's it's almost like a car wreck in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
I don't really want to see this, but I want to see if they survive.
Can't look away.
Yeah, I can't look away, kind of thing. It's almost like that.
Yeah, and then it's got those very surreal moments, like
everything to do with the Bigfoot is it's mystical or supernatural.
Yeah,
right. It's not just like there is a mythical creature that lives in the woods. It's like, no, there's some real magic.
Yeah,
right.
Because it's like you said, like the kid can see him. I mean, it's not like other scenes where here's Bigfoot and the adults are just the Bigfoot's there, but the adults can't see him like a ghost. It's not like that. He just comes out when they're. It's just a kid or the shaman, the Indian, or what So the shaman's got powers, I guess. So he's mystical. He can see the Bigfoot, or whatever.
Well, there's something at the very end, right? Like you said, like the teacher, like, well, an adult can't see him unless you believe.
Yeah. Because the adult the teacher was about to give up. Okay, well, I would sure love to see this Bigfoot, but I guess it won't going to happen. And then the kid's like, you know what, Mister, whatever his name was, if you really, really believe, I think you can just see him too, or whatever. And then doesn't it cut away to them seeing him?
Meanwhile, he does. Yeah, that's like the very end is like there's like that weird purple light, and then all of a sudden there's Bigfoot and Red Hawk, and there's and then an eagle, just sitting there, and they're all just kind of staring at him.
Yeah, again, this very supernatural, mystical angle. Yeah. Well, Tiana, like you mentioned, you should mention that now too. Like, what did it remind you of? This movie and those scenes, the eagle and the.
The suburban Sasquatch.
We did on a few episodes back. Suburban Sasquatch.
Yeah, well,
another equally that movie is certainly more entertaining.
Yeah,
because of how that was even more not ridiculous.
Well, really, what this movie is about is this kid sees Bigfoot, and apparently no one else can see him. But like the most of the movie is him trying to stop his dad and this other guy who has been brought in from killing Bigfoot, because like some animals are turning up, like hurt and dead or whatever the hell. So like they're trying to figure out what's doing this, and then they bring in this other guy, and they believe. I guess the belief is that it might be Bigfoot, but they don't really know. And then eventually, they're like, oh wait a minute, it's that escaped tiger from the zoo that's been doing this, right?
Yeah,
and so really, that's what it's about. It's about this kid trying to stop them from killing Bigfoot because he's friends with Bigfoot. But then there's this whole mystical side to it and everything of
I'm glad you figured that out because I didn't.
Yeah, but then there's of course there's holes in it too. Ding 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 bell. Yeah, all kind of holes in this movie, but it's a hole in its own logic when it's talking about you can only see them if you truly believe, or if you're the kid, or if you're the mystical shaman, right? But that tracker guy sees Bigfoot.
Yeah,
because remember that's that fever dream part we were talking about. One of the most fever dream aspect of the movie is when the tracker sees Bigfoot and goes to shoot him, and the Indian's sitting there, the mystical Red Hawk sitting there on the rock, and then he's got this little amulet thing in his neck that reflects the light into the guy's eyes.
It blinds him.
And then the eagle comes down and pecks his eyeball out or something. And he goes running into a bunch of different scenery.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck? I forgot about that. So like he gets blinded, and then an eagle flies out of nowhere and pecks his fucking eyeball out, and then as you would, he's screaming like, "Oh fuck!" and he runs away. And then I think he just runs into the lake and disappears. Like
I think so. After he went through a bunch of different scenery, shoot some scenery there and different nature shots.
The sunset.
The lake, like you said, and all this. He's still screaming, and I guess he did disappear to the lake.
Yeah, he just ran into the lake and disappeared. Never to be seen again. And then they don't question it, and then cut to them eating Thanksgiving dinner like nothing. None of this shit just happened. Dad, we should really talk about
that guy. He just really believed in Bigfoot, so that was he was able to see him.
Dad, I think we should really talk about that guy. I just witnessed a dude get his eyes pecked out by an eagle. Son, just eat your dinner. Ha 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 ha. What the fuck? That tiger got me though. I was like, because everything's like, there's a deer. There's a rabbit. There's a grazing antelope. All kinds of animals across the whole wilderness spectrum. Then all of a sudden, a fucking tiger shows up.
You can believe they were in that. That environment, even though it wouldn't be so realistic that they were all together right after one after another. Here.
Because they're in some kind of I don't even know if they ever technically specify where they are, but you put together they're it's almost like Yellowstone or something.
Yeah, I don't know that they did. I don't think they did, right?
I didn't ever actually
said that it was California. Right?
Yeah, but you can pretty much put two and two together and figure it out.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, a tiger would not be in this environment.
No.
So that was the thing that threw me. But I think it was just the nonchalantness of the animals just being there that got me.
Yeah, just every scene. Well, for a while, for a good portion of the movie, it's like, here's wolves and they're howling, and here they are in a pack, and then the next thing,
and then you see the hawk, and then you see the boy walk by. Yeah, and there's a fucking dangerous animal sitting right there.
There's a bear right here. Here's a cougar. Here's a bobcat. Here's and then he gets to the caged animal where that who was it? The ladies that was like a vet kind of thing. Or something?
I guess she's just like the local woman that takes care of animals person. I don't know what the hell.
I don't know if that's not where the tiger escaped from, was it?
No, because there was some line of it escaped from a zoo or something apparently. Yeah. So. It seemed like they would have come to that conclusion pretty quickly, right? Because you do have the other ranger or whatever he was. It's like, you need to get to the bottom of this. You need to solve this because the new thing is opening up. There's that weird subplot with the rich guy that is opening up a new museum or whatever the fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's just kind of randomly there. And then he's got the other sheriff or ranger or whatever on the take. Like, you got to get rid of this dangerous beast that's out there randomly killing things. Meanwhile, wouldn't you put it together pretty quick? A tiger escaped from the zoo, and that's probably what's doing this. Nope, not Bigfoot.
Well, you're talking about trackers and things who, walk over, their guns. I thought it was funny how they're just, tossing their guns around, sticking the barrel in the ground and stuff.
Oh, yeah. No.
Leaning on the gun with the barrel in the ground. Yeah, okay.
Gun safety.
These are some trackers, Art.
Yeah. Gun safety, my ass.
Swinging them, sweeping everywhere.
Oh, and I think the line of the movie though is the kid Paul when he's mad at Jim or whatever, and he calls him a dumb Indian.
Yeah.
You're just a dumb Indian. Whoa! Take it easy, kid. Holy shit! Yikes!
What you mean, you people? I'm sorry, the Tropic Thunder thing came into mind because they weren't real Indians. The one real Indian is like, what do you mean, you people?
I did love, I mentioned it earlier. I did love the raccoon thing though, where you're introduced to the asshole guy. What was his name? The guy that got his eyes pecked out, Morgan. When you're introduced and he's just sitting there butchering a chicken. He's just, He's just
that's when they first introduce him, right? He's in the cabin or whatever.
He's eating it like the nastiest way possible, like he's fucking Fred Flintstone. Like, yeah. And then there's a raccoon, where there's a bunch of raccoons. And
crawling on the counters and knocking shit off.
Yeah, and the raccoon jumps up there, I guess, tries to take his chicken or whatever. So the dude just grabs a real raccoon.
Yeah, like he's gonna strangle.
It's real, and he's just almost like choking the fucking raccoon, like. And you can see the raccoons like freezing up, like. Why is he just fucking holding it like? It's a wonder. Like, I guarantee they all had to have rabies shots, and like somebody got hurt. There's no way nobody got hurt, or these animals.
With all those animals.
Yeah,
like I said, some of the shots were nature. What do you call it? Found footage. Found footage.
No.
They were what the hell do you call that when you buy stock footage?
Yeah.
There was some stock footage, but once it got into it, all those animals seemed to be real, actually on the set, like you said, in those locations, interacting with some of the actors and things.
Yep.
Some of the early on animal shots were obviously stock footage.
Oh, pretty clearly, yeah.
They didn't match,
Yeah. I mean, we could probably go on for another hour on this because it was so stupid, but I think we need to put a pin in it. That's enough. It is funny, but not probably in the way they ever intended it to be. This doesn't feel like they were. Maybe they were aiming for like that family comedy kind of thing. Maybe keep it kind of light and fluffy kind of thing, but also I don't think they intended you to laugh where you laughed kind of movie. But I mean,
and he probably, like I said, if the writer had to do a lot of rewrites, which is possible, then that might be why it's all disjointed. Like he had to basically start from scratch, maybe, and well, I can't do the movie I was thinking about doing, so here's this.
Here's this movie about nothing. In particular, and then it almost felt like they were just making shit up along the way.
Yeah, it did feel. I mean, it looked like that from the way it was edited to the shit just popping up that wasn't any mention of to this point, and you're like, where the hell did this even come from? This aspect, this angle, this whatever, this person, this.
Yeah, everything like when they're on this old mining town. Why is there an old mining town in the middle of this national park? Just everything. It's just like, what the hell is going on here? I feel bad for Philip Jordan. How the mighty fell. I guess, like you said, you need money. You do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Wow. So what we do here is we give it, a star rating, but since it's Cult Corner, we're comparing it to other cult movies that we've done. So you're comparing it just as much to Goodfellas as you are Blackula, right? So it runs the gamut here in Cult Corner. So, since I was the one that kind of brought this to the table, I guess I'll go first. This movie sucks, but it's a funny suck. So it earns a little extra half a star from me for that. So I can't give it more than one though. And that's with the bonus for just being what the hell. So I say 1 star. So Tiana, what do you say?
The same. I definitely want to check it out on that movie.
The Mystery Science.
Mystery Science 2000.
Trust me.
That's probably hilarious.
Trust me, that is hilarious. It's way better than the movie for sure. It sometimes, a lot of times with MST3K, but sometimes like it can take the movie that, like, if you just watched it straight up like we just did with this, it's just like, man, this sucks. But there's some comedy to it. But man, it just makes it just takes it to a whole other level. I mean, it makes it way better for sure. So, Smoke, what do you say?
Yeah, I'll give it 1 1/4. I'll give it a little bit more. I'll give it just a tad bit more. And the only reason is it is ridiculous. It's not so bad as good. If it was, and it would get an even higher rating from me. But like I said, there's something compelling. Once you put this movie on, you're pretty much probably going to watch it to the end. I mean, well, it depends. Some people might just turn it off immediately. If you get past the first few minutes or so of it, though, and you're into cult films at least or whatever, you'll probably watch it to the end. And for some reason, you'll feel some strange compulsion to do so. That's how I felt watching it. Like you said, like a fever dream. And there's some really out there scenes in this movie that are like almost worth it just at least to see this movie once, to see some of those scenes. Again, like Josh was saying, John said that the Mystery Science theater version is probably, for most people, the best bet. But I mean, I do think, though, if you like cult films, you should experience at least one time. Maybe watch it on its own merit first, then go watch the Mystery Science. Because if you do it backwards, I never saw the Mystery Science episode yet. So if you do it backwards, like you did it backwards, though, so I'm sure that it lost something. when you're just watching it raw.
Yeah, but I still like fondly remember some of the jokes they made and shit. So I'm kind of laughing along, like remembering what they said, kind of thing. So like, But yes, that's the way I would recommend you see it. Like, if you've never seen either one, go watch the real one first, and then go back. There's no doubt about it.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch the Mystery Science one there.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, at some point coming up, we'll do it. Not right away.
I'm pretty
I'll
sure
let it simmer a little bit, and then we'll watch.
I'm pretty sure it's still on Netflix. It was like that batch of episodes that they did on Netflix. I think it's still over there. So if you're hunting it down, find it there.
Well, also though, I thought that the cinematography, not I don't know who the DP is, and I mean I'm not saying that he's like some master photographer for this movie or anything, but it's probably more so to do with the locations in California that they used.
Yeah.
But those locations and shots of those locations are really cool and a lot of and most of the scenes of this movie, even and I don't know where that mountain is in California. I looked it up. Nothing was shot in Canada or Alaska or anything, but some of that snow-covered mountain with the rig that comes through near the beginning where the kid, there's another thing too. It's weird. The kid hitchhikes from a truck driver. The truck driver asks no questions. He says, "Get in, kid."
Yeah.
And then he takes him to wherever he wants to go or whatever. It's his dad.
The funny thing is too, because I actually went back when I was watching. I was, what the fuck? And then I skipped back a few seconds to see. So he's the teacher admonishes him for telling fairy tales.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to the principal tomorrow about you being expelled, whatever he says, right?
Yeah.
Cut to him getting in a truck.
Yeah.
Like there's no nothing showing that, okay, I'm going to leave and go to my dad's this place kind of thing, or some sort of exposition. There's just that scene that you just mentioned. A truck pulling up, the kid getting in the truck driver says, "Yeah, come on in, kid."
Yeah. He just hit. I guess he gets up the next morning and just hits the bricks. You
just have to assume what he's doing until he gets there, and then he's going and he meets his dad. He just runs out in the woods, and there's his dad out in the woods.
It is a nutty film for sure.
It is.
So,
and the other positives, the two country songs, the country song at the beginning, or that scene with the truck driver, and the song at the end. I don't know who that was, and I meant to look it up, but I like those songs. There's another positive. Looking for the positive.
It really reminded me the truck thing pulling up. It reminded me of Over the Top for a second there.
Yeah.
Just for a second. Well, there you go. So our consensus is 1.08 to be exact with the math. 1.08 out of 5 stars. So we don't recommend, but if you like these goofy, campy type of flicks, then maybe give it one watch. But like we said a minute ago, I'd recommend watching the MST3K version. Honestly, it's better. So that's it for the Sasquatch Summer. What a note to leave it on, right?
Yeah, we always seem to go out with a whimper instead of a bang with some of these. I think I used that with Werewolf, the Werewolf Summer we had, whatever. I don't remember what the last one was, but I don't think it was so great.
Yeah, Summer of the Wolf. Yeah. Well,
and Yeti, I don't remember what the last one was, but
Yeti
might not have been too great either. Yeti on the Yeti.
Yeah, Polar Predators.
Polar Predators. Yeah, I don't know what the last one was on there either.
Look, I think between Polar Predators and now Sasquatch Summer, we've got to put the Bigfoots to rest for a while. I
think we've pretty much gone through most everything. The only one I can think of off the top of my head that we didn't necessarily do, and that was back in the Yeti thing, was the Man Beast.
Yeah. Well, look, we already pretty much chased away Will and now Donnie with the whole Bigfoot thing. So now we just need to bring it back home. Go with what we know and love. So next week, we're going to be wrapping up the Sasquatch Summer. We're going to put a big bow on it. So that will be next week's episode. We'll kind of go through everything that we've done this summer, relive it a little bit, and then put a final period on the end of that sentence. But then the next week, we put out a poll a couple weeks ago, and we put it out for vote, and it had to be what we call a wild card, and it had to be a vintage pick. So the winner of the poll that we're going to watch in 2 weeks will be Alfred Hitchcock classic, The Birds. So that is how we're going to wash the taste of the Sasquatch Summer off of our bodies, with some Hitchcock. So I think it's a good way to honestly start ramping up for the quote unquote spooky season, right? Because before you know it, I mean, Labor Day will be here in just 2 or 3 weeks, and then off to the races, man. We'll have some bigger stuff planned for October and everything, and that's quote unquote our Super Bowl. So lots of stuff coming up. We're in the lab. We're making plans for that. So we'll see what happens.
We were working in the lab late one night.
Yep.
All right. Oh.
Then we had to watch Cry Wilderness. awoke bathed in purple light. And then we looked out in the window, and all of a sudden, Doofy Bigfoot was staring at us with his mouth wide open. The fuck?
What a sight.
Yeah, exactly. That'd make you jump out the window. Run. All right, that's enough. So for Tiana, Professor Smoke, I'm Josh. We are the All-American Spook Show, and we'll talk to you next week.